I watched 9 new movies released in April, so here's my ranking of all of them from worst to chicken jockey. I misspoke there, I meant worst to best. In last place might be my least favorite movie of the entire year, Until Dawn, based on the video game. They decided, no, we're just gonna take the name of the video game, set a movie loosely in the same universe, which if you're gonna take the name of a beloved game and do your own story, you better make sure it's at least as good, if not way better than the original source material, but I'm sorry, this movie was a complete disaster. All the characters are so incredibly forgettable. That was one of the best parts of the original game. All these characters had such distinct personalities, not to mention you even had better actors like Rami Malek, Hayden Panettiere doing voices in this movie. For some reason, they decided to make this a time loop movie where they're all stuck in this house until dawn, pretty much dying over and over again. That's literally nothing from the original video game. Like I said, I know they were trying to do their own thing, but it's so bad and so much worse that I can't forgive them for that decision. And number 8 is The Amateur, starring Rami Malek and Lawrence Fishburne. I absolutely love those two actors. I was excited to see them in this kind of like thriller revenge story with Rami Malek kind of going for revenge for his dead wife. But it ends up just feeling like a super generic action movie that's just trying to cash on the successful formula that the John Wick movies had, because so many studios have been trying to replicate that. But this movie is just simply generic. That's the only way I can describe it. There's not one single bold swing this movie takes, one shocking decision. I was just so bored watching this entire thing. I really like Rami Malek and things I've seen him in, but really his filmography for the most part isn't that good. I know he's in Mr. Robot, which is apparently amazing. I will get to that one day. And it's really a shame because I definitely want more actors like Rami Malek in particular, and just other kind of people like him, to get more leading roles like this in kind of original movies, because this film, again, kind of feels like stuff you've seen 100 times before. But I can't even blame audiences for letting this one flop, because like I said, there's really just no reason to go out and watch this movie or even check it out on streaming. And number 7 is Drop. This is just a perfectly fine, like, dumb fun movie, but heavy emphasis on the dumb, because this thing just kept getting stupider as it goes on. The premise is that this woman, she's a single mother, she hasn't been dating for a long time, and she finally decides she's going to go out on this date. But while she's there, she ends up getting this message on her phone in the form of like an airdrop of people, like, at first they're just trolling her, and then they start giving her instructions, being like, oh, you have to kill this person, you have to do this, if you don't listen to me, I'm going to actually kill your family. So it's basically like a Hallmark movie on steroids, but it's kind of a fun, like, whodunit, finding out, oh, who's actually threatening her, who's sending her these instructions to her phone. It's, like I said, very stupid, but if you know that going into it, you can have fun with it. And number 6 is Hell of a Summer. This movie's written and directed partially by Finn Wolfhard, who you probably know from Stranger Things. He plays Mike in that show, and you can tell he is a big fan of the horror and slasher genre. That's what this movie feels like, a big love letter to it instead of trying to reinvent the wheel. It's far from being like an amazing movie or anything, but I think some of the writing is actually kind of witty and creative. A lot of the jokes and just banter between characters, how they're interacting with each other, is so unbelievably goofy that I was actually laughing a decent amount during this movie. And I really feel like Finn honestly has great potential as a director. There are some actually really solid looking shots in this movie. Again, you can tell he loves the genre, kind of sticking with this like horror comedy feel. I think he actually could be really good in the future. It's just a shame that nobody even knows this film exists. Hopefully it gets dumped on Netflix or something and people check it out. And number 5 is The Accountant 2. This movie is pretty much just bigger, louder, and sillier than the first movie in every way possible. I don't necessarily think it's better, but they're both perfectly fine, like 6 out of 10, really enjoyable, just fun movies. Like I said, The Accountant 2 really heavily leans into the humor aspect of the film. It really goes for like a buddy cop kind of movie with Ben Affleck and John Bernthal, and these two do really have great chemistry. I do think that's one thing this movie definitely improved on from the first film, because in the first film they, like, spoiler alert, are keeping it a secret that these two are brothers, and they're not even on screen together for like 90% of the film. This movie realizes the mistake of the first movie, and it's like, no, put these two together on like the majority of the screen time, and it is an absolute blast because of that. Definitely not great. The plot's kind of generic, and I feel like we actually lose a lot of like the actual accounting aspect from the first movie. For being a sequel to a movie that I 1000% would have said never needed a sequel, I think this does a good job at giving you a fine enough story that's a fun time. At number 4 is where the Minecraft movie comes in, because yes, obviously this is so incredibly dumb and stupid, but purposely so, and I can't lie, I was just having an absolute blast watching this movie. I'm glad I saw it on opening night and had a very relatively calm crowd. Like, people were laughing at the chicken jockey line and some of the other trailer lines he said. Nobody was throwing popcorn or anything at me. I would have been so mad if that was happening in my theater experience for this movie. And if you were one of those unlucky people that did get something thrown at you during the chicken jockey scene, let us know your experience in the comments below. And I'll admit, these movies are always hard to rank and review when they're more of memes than anything else because, yeah, like the story isn't great. Most of the characters outside of Jack Black's Steve and Jason Momoa's Garrett the Garbage Man Garrison are like nothing characters that really do nothing for the story. But I'm sorry, you gotta know what you're signing up for based on the trailers and just the premise itself. Like, if you weren't going into this expecting to basically be a feature-length SNL skit in its quality, I don't know what to tell you. That's kind of on you. I just thought this super awkward Jared Hess style of humor worked really well in this movie. I thought it was absolutely hilarious. Plus, I grew up playing a ton of Minecraft. That was like my favorite game for so long as a kid. I've been playing since Minecraft Xbox 360 and Minecraft PE. So of course the nostalgia worked for me. I think a lot of the actual like Minecraft overworld stuff looks really good too. A lot of it was practical sets. A lot of the effects really do look cool. And it's already confirmed they're working on a Minecraft movie too. Like, is it going to be probably just as stupid, if not even more dumb than this film? Yes, but will I also be there day one? 1000%. Before we get to the top 3, make sure to let me know your ranking of any new movies you saw in April and drop a like on this video. It would really help out the channel and I appreciate it. And this is where I realized that ranking movies like this is just so goofy, honestly, because at number 3 is Warfare, like the complete opposite of the Minecraft movie. This movie is told through the memories of real soldiers that were in the Iraq War, and it's just this like one day pretty much watching these harrowing, just haunting events. And I'm not squeamish in any way, shape, or form. I can watch gore even though I'm not a fan of really gory stuff, but this I actually had to look away from some of the things because it just felt so real. And I could actually feel like I was in the moment watching like my comrades getting brutally injured in war. It was so hard to watch. But I also feel like it was incredibly important for that reason. On a technical level, like the sound design of this movie is off the charts. It's definitely something everybody should watch once and you'll probably never want to rewatch it. And number 2 is The Legend of Ochi. This was such a pleasant surprise for me. This is the newest A24 movie. Follows this girl from this very small like farm village, and she's taught her whole life this whole lore about why you should fear the Ochi, this creature on her shoulders. But one day she finds a baby Ochi in the wild and kind of goes on this quest to bring him back to his home, and it's just a really sweet and endearing story. The whole cast was really just so solid in this movie. Helena Zengel is the main girl. I don't know if she's been in other stuff before, but she was really solid in this. Finn Wolfhard, again, another movie in April with him. He was having a great time in this movie. Then you got Emily Watson and Willem Dafoe kind of bringing that older veteran presence, and I just love watching Willem Dafoe and everything. He has some really funny line deliveries in this. This kind of feels like an homage in a lot of ways to a lot of like older 80s kind of adventure family films, and I honestly really appreciate that, but it also does a lot of things really new and refreshing too for that kind of genre. If you've seen Taika Waititi's movie Hunt for the Wilder People, I heavily compare it to that. If you enjoyed that movie, definitely check this out. At number 1, it's really not even a competition. This is my favorite of the month and the entire year. It's Sinners. Ryan Coogler absolutely cooked. This is one of the most gorgeous movies I've seen in a long time. The sound design, the actual music they're playing in the movie itself, and the musical score by Ludwig all made me almost levitate out of the theater. Absolutely career best performances from Michael B. Jordan. Haley Steinfeld's incredible. The entire cast, really, even Miles Canton. This is his first movie ever. He was incredible as Sam. To hear my full-length review, click the video at the top of the screen right now, or to check out my rankings of movies from March, February, and January, make sure to click the playlist at the bottom of the screen. Thank you so much for watching, and let me know your list in the comments below.